Hello there, welcome to the Tech Lunch Part brought to you by Rwanda ICT Chamber and RBA. My name is Christian Zalaban. As always, I always host this particular episode. Platform is here to provide space to the tech companies to showcase their product, services and ideas in order to inspire and educate young innovators and entrepreneurs. Today, I'm joined by Peace Ndori, the founder of Lifesten Health. After becoming the winner of Hunger Pitch Fest. For those who don't know, Lifesten Health is a dynamic and innovative wellness platform dedicated to transforming lives and throughout comprehensive health solutions. We're going to be diving into everything and get to know more about the founder, but also this particular Lifesten Health. So welcome to our platform.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, as I said, this is a platform that Rwanda ICT Chamber brought together to provide space for the tech companies to showcase but also educate the young innovators that are in the tech world. And you have founded Lifesten. We would love to start by getting to know what led you to that journey of founding and creating that company.
Okay, thank you. First, thank you to the ICT Chamber for creating this platform that allows tech innovators to share the why they've built the solutions that we have now, and also get to showcase the innovations behind it. So for Lifesten Health, it started from, I think, my own experience. I've worked as a nutritionist for both private and public institutions in Rwanda, and I think over time you get your own pains as part of that comes from the healthcare system. So I wanted to do something about chronic diseases, where in most cases the only solution that's there is the management as we wait to die, because there is no cure, so you have to be on support for a very long time. But these are also diseases that can easily be prevented. With the right information, with the right access to diagnostic solutions, then it's very easy to prevent yourself from getting one. But this is not something that's currently available because the healthcare system is already overburdened with the management of the existing cases. If we have very high prevalence of these diseases, which we do, then there are no resources allocated to the preventative care, and it's up to the private sector to do something about it. So that's how I ventured, or that's how we started the venture. At the time I met my current co-founder, Stephen Ogweno, who was working on a similar concept in Kenya. And then we had a conversation, we're like, let's start in Rwanda, see what happens, and then over time we can probably scale to Kenya. So that's how Lifesten started.
Definitely, I would love, because young people watch this show, and I'm pretty much sure they get to ask themselves, like, for you to get into Lifesten and be interested in that, why wellness and health? I really want to know personally, why that road?
So I think I was pushed into that space. I was really pushed into it because I knew I was going to be a healthcare provider, but the first thing that comes to mind is you show up at a hospital every day, and then you do what you're supposed to do, go back home in the evening. And I'm not a routine type of person. So first, that was not fulfilling based on my personality. I want to see change. I want to try new things, see what comes out. And the healthcare space is it's not a field where you're allowed to try and fail, because you're dealing with people's lives. You can be trying new things to patients every single day. So there was no space for me to grow. It was just me showing up every day, dealing with the cases that I have, and that's where it stops. So there was that lack of fulfillment. And for me, when I started, I just wanted to get creative in the healthcare provision that we know. And I was like, maybe there's another way to do this. So I remember one of the first ideas we had, it was to do a mobile lifestyle diseases type of clinic where we're able to move around, provide the same services that the hospitals are providing, but then it's like a one-stop center. One person can get everything and we come to you. We don't wait for you to show up at a hospital and go through the queues and all the challenges that are already there. So it went through so much evolving for it to be the Lifesten we have at the moment. And there was definitely a lot of push and support and guidance from either the programs we've been part of or even personal mentors that we have. And the two programs we've been part of, the first one being Jasiri. And so Jasiri invests in talent, unlike many other incubators. They do not invest in businesses. They invest in talent. They look at someone, they invest in you as an individual. Do you have the ability to create something or to solve a particular problem in your community? So they pair you with a mentor, and also there is a lot of exposure to what's happening in the market, and not necessarily in Africa, but even outside of Africa. And I think that opens your brain somewhat, so you're able to think differently. And one of the concepts that's very crucial is the market creating innovation, which was basically new in Rwanda, in the region as whole. And the market creating innovation, it's a type of, there are different types of innovation, and this specific one, it looks at creating a market that doesn't exist. So it's not, I'll give you an example. If someone is inventing, let's say, we've had inventors in the space where they bring a substitute for an already existing product. So let's say if people were moving using cars, then you come up with, like people who came up with the electric car. That's another form of transportation,
Yes.
but it's not a new market. We had cars. So you're just substituting what's already in the market. So, but on the other hand, market creating innovation, it's like the first person who thought about cars when people were still riding horses. Yeah. So, or the person who came up with the idea to design a cell phone, for example. So it's not you thinking about what's already there and how you can improve it, but looking at a problem that's already there and how you can address that problem in a new way that's not already in the market. So I think that's what pushed me into the looking at health and wellness differently than what we currently have.
Yes, I want to take you back to you winning Hunger Pitch Fest, but congratulations once again. There's so many competitions. It's huge. One of the big events that happened in Rwanda for young entrepreneurs, people with good ideas. So what has been the journey since winning and having that platform, not only the platform that it gives, but also the financial support, and now to the Lifesten we have right now? What has been the journey?
So the journey has been exciting, but also hectic, because the winning part, you get to enjoy it for a couple of days, but then it comes with a lot of expectations. Expectations you have for yourself, but also the expectations the people who designed Hunger have for the winners. So they need to see some traction, they need to see what you're doing, but also as you're pitching, you have ideas of what you want to do. And even the funds that are allocated to different winners, you already have something in mind that you want to address. So I would say it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because right after winning, we realized that we needed a lot of approvals from different institutions. And we had no idea prior to that. We just thought we've designed something, it's ready to be brought to the market, we'll just go sell, let people know, advertise, and then we're done. But that's not how it works. The different regulators, whether on the part of the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of ICT, specifically with the data that we collect from individuals. So that took a very long time, but also winning Hunger allowed us to have, I would say, a privilege compared to everyone else maybe who is trying to get these approvals, because we had the right guidance. We'll go to these people and we're like, you already know what we're doing, what do we need to do? And these are people who would go with us to these meetings, help us figure out what we need in our context, since the health tech space is pretty new in the country. And we're able to get all the necessary approvals, but yeah, it's been hectic. And without the support we got from the Ministry of ICT, I don't think it would have been possible.
Definitely. Throughout the competition of Hunger Page Fest, I would love to know what do you think takes, what's the difference between other competitors? What made you stand out? Was it because of wellness? Why exactly do you think why were you the winner? Because I think there were so many competitors and throughout the Hunger Page Fest, so many good ideas, young innovators. Why was Lifesten the winner?
So
I'm definitely asking you what makes Lifesten
different. Yeah, I think we should ask the judges first. So, but on my end, I think first the timing. The timing, I think we still are. So we're in a period where the country and the healthcare system, they're seeing this burden of non-communicable diseases. We have very high cases of overweight, hypertension, diabetes, cancers, different cancers in the country. And I think the government is becoming aware of this situation. So the timing was right, because this was an issue already at hand, already being discussed. And if there is someone doing something about it, then in a way you become a priority. But also the other thing is that it's not, which I believe a lot of people say, do something you're passionate about, do something you're passionate about. I think we hear about this everywhere. But another way to put it is hate something so bad that you want to do something about it. Like if it doesn't bother you that much, then you're likely not going to put everything you have into solving that issue. So on my end, on a personal level and on the professional level, I've encountered these diseases for very many years before I started Lifesten. But also on the other hand, my co-founder lived with non-communicable diseases growing up. So I think that allowed us to, we are very invested into what we're doing, which is different. And the other part, which is very important for Hunger Page Fest, is the innovation aspect. Being able, and that's what I was telling you earlier, the market creating innovation aspect. What are you doing differently? And if you look at the health tech space in Africa, for example, yes, you have competitors, and you should have competitors, but there are very few companies who are covering as many aspects of lifestyle diseases as we are. And one of the examples is that we've integrated AI-based blood pressure screening, where people are able to self-screen for blood pressure using their phones.
Yes.
The only other country where we have that in Africa, it's in South Africa. And it's not, the difference is that you need to pay a certain amount for you to have access to that, while for this whole period, for us, it's open to everyone. Everyone can basically download the application and screen for blood pressure. So that aspect, I think, made us stand out, because it was something different, something that hasn't been done in the region or in Africa.
Coming from what you just said, you deal with information, people come to you guys. You seem to be dealing with highly sensitive information of people. How are you winning their trust, for them to be able to come to your platform and keep sharing their sensitive information?
Okay, so yeah, that's data protection it's a big issue, and one of the ways we've navigated this issue is, first, we don't have access to the personal information of someone unless if they decide to share. So as a Lifesten user, I have full amount of I decided what to use with the data. I can decide to delete the data at any point, and Lifesten won't have anything to do about that. And I can decide to share either with a healthcare provider or a family member. It's also up to me. So for us, we trust the information with the user, and then they decide what to do with the information. And something else is that one of the approvals I was talking about is that we had to comply to the data protection regulations of the country, which we're able to do. And at the moment, we are discussing a data sharing agreement with RBC, so that also because we're able to collect a large amount of data, this data can be used in decision making or also informing other upcoming interventions, especially in the non-communicable diseases space.
Definitely. As you said, I would love to know from since you started now to where you are right now, is there like any milestone achievement that you guys have seen over the years, some great investments? Because I'm pretty much sure every startup, when you're like growing, you need investment, you need partners, you need people who are interested in the startup. Tell us throughout the way, as a person who's watching us, who is planning to start a company, who wants to know, is it feasible? You know, can you sustain the company if people love what you're doing?
Definitely. I think if you're able to achieve, the biggest win for any company is achieving the product market fit, knowing for a fact that this is something the population or the community needed and they're willing to pay for it. And that's something we're still working towards. But yes, we've been able to get a lot of milestones, achieve a lot of milestones from the time we won Hunger. Right after Hunger, we won this competition. It's called the Kigali Cardiovascular Health Challenge. It's endorsed by the Novartis Foundation, and we've been able to, it was a project of 250,000 USD, and it was in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, the RBC, the City of Kigali, the NCD Alliance, among many other people. So working on this project has been, I think it opened a lot of doors for Lifesten, and as a result, we're able to achieve the 10,000 users milestone, which was a very big deal for us, knowing that we're able to get to 10,000 people in Rwanda and out of Rwanda. But the biggest highlight of the project is we're able to reach 1,600,000 people. And this includes awareness, so information on non-communicable diseases, screening. We're able to screen for blood pressure and blood sugar, and also referrals. So we're able to link, we worked with 33 health facilities in Kigali, and we're able to link, if let's say we screen you and you're already living with any of these diseases, would link you to a health facility that's close to you for follow-up. So those were the biggest highlights, and personally, my personal favorite is we were able to train close to 78 agents, and these are, we call them Lifesten ambassadors, and these are just people we pick in the community in different settings where there is a lot big gatherings of people. So marketplaces, churches, schools, bus stops, areas that literally have a lot of people. And what we do is that we have few sessions to train them what are the risk factors of non-communicable diseases, what are the symptoms. We let them know about the free screening that's available in different health facilities in Rwanda. And then we teach them how to screen using the Lifesten application. So these then go to be the key person in that particular community. Let's say if we all work together in Chimirongo market, I know that I can always come to you if I I need any information concerning non-communicable diseases, or if I want to be screened. If you don't have the ability to screen, they link them up to our screening sites, where we have people who screen in those sites. For example, we screen during the car-free days, or Muganda, or inteko z'abaturage. So basically, if you're able to put together a big number of people, we can just come and screen, and also link these people where necessary. So I believe having those people as representatives in the community really increases the awareness level in the community, but also it's a long-term intervention, because now people are able to continuously educate people who are very close to them.
So do people understand, like the Lifesten ambassadors, when they go to the field, when they're in those places that you mentioned, do people understand, like when they're coming to them, you should start doing screening, you should do this, you should do this? Do like Rwandans get the platform?
So I would say it wasn't easy at the start. It wasn't easy at the start, but that's where partnerships comes in. If you show up as Lifesten, they're like, we've never heard of that thing. Where are they taking our data? Who are these people? But then if, let's say, you're endorsed by RBC, and one of the biggest part of this project, we're also carrying out a research that went with it. And if they're able to see that the research is also endorsed by the Ministry of Health, then people get to be more trusting. And one of the reasons why we decided to use the Lifesten ambassadors is actually for that trust aspect, because we don't send people to communities they don't belong to. So we look for someone who already belongs to that community. So the trust aspect is not even something he has to win, because they already trust this person. So you're just now coming in with the new information. And the way to look at it is, let's say if it's a family, and then one of your siblings shows up, they're like, by the way, there is this new thing, and they explain it to you. It will be totally different than me just showing up to your workplace and then trying to explain to you what Lifesten does, because you might think I'm just selling. So I think that has really worked, because, for example, in schools, this person is your classmate. It's someone you already live with, and if they're using the platform themselves, then you're going to trust what they're going to tell you. And we also look at people who are already I'd say keen to health and wellness, so that when they say it, it makes sense coming from that particular person, and they can be trusted with that type of information. And we prioritize people who have a background in public health, especially for the screening aspect. But we also want literally everyone who is interested, and then who can look out for their own communities and also be the key contact person for anything health and wellness. Definitely.
I hope the youth that are watching us now can join you guys into the being a Lifesten ambassadors. So ending this conversation, Rwanda has had a tremendous growth in having women that are in leadership, or creating some companies and doing big things in Rwanda. So for any young person that is watching us right now, if there's like a young girl that really wants to take that road, build a company as you did at a young age that you did, what would be the advice?
So there are many. Yes. There are many, and the first one I always say is that you don't have to do everything by yourself. Which I think it's a mentality we grow up with, that I have, especially women, but also men, like I have to figure this out. I can't be going around asking for help. I need to figure this out. And most of the times it doesn't make you less of what you are just because you've asked for help. It actually makes you more, or it helps you to grow. And I've learned this the hard way. One of the things we prioritize at Lifesten is collaboration. So, because you can't do everything in the amount of time you want to achieve a lot of things. And all the success of Lifesten came because of the partners we have and the people we are working with. So share your ideas with people who have aligned goals. And if someone else in the same field is doing something that you want to do, how about you don't do the same thing they're doing, but then approach them and see if you can merge the ideas you have. For example, when we wanted to have nutritionists on board and different gyms, mental health clinics, we wanted it to be internal, and then at some point we're like, why would we do the same thing if we have hundreds of facilities in the country who are already providing these same services? So we approached them, and to our surprise, these people were willing to work with us even before we had Lifesten, we had launched Lifesten, or before it was actually working. So during the brainstorming stage, when we're still designing the Lifesten application, these are the people who were able to understand what we're doing and also back it up moving forward. So you don't have to do everything, reach out to people who are doing something similar to what you're doing and figure out how you can work together, how you can collaborate. And the other thing is something that I've really done is attaching yourself to something bigger than yourself. And this includes different incubators or programs, but then you also have to be too careful because we've seen people who are just jumping from one program to the other. You need to be very picky and very selective with who you go to. And it's actually possible. Just do research, talk to people who have gone through the same program, and see if really it provides the type of help or it's able to answer the type of needs you have as an individual and also as a business. So I'll say those two at the moment, and for anyone who needs more, I'm around. Definitely.
And they can definitely put themselves out there for like Hunger Pitch Fest and so many other platforms that provide space for young innovators. So this makes the end of our show today. Thank you very much, Peace Ndori, the winner of Hunger Pitch Fest, but also the founder of Lifesten. She joined us today talking a little bit more about her platform, but also her journey as an entrepreneur. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So that's it. I thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the whole show with me. And my name is Lifesten. See you next time.